Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 20. Look, we're not some children. We're not going to make a 420 joke. We're AutoSave. We're more mature than that. That being said, last episode, Eren got absolutely blasted, bro. He got, his head just got, man, it was...
And then after that, again.
Yeah.
But like emotionally.
Yeah, he got decapitated physically and with words. Like it was rough. It was a rough
he got
episode
decapitated
for our boy.
and then his heart was shattered.
Yeah. His
mind was blown as well.
I think that at the end of last episode's discussion, I was in high hopes that I would come into this intro really knowing what to say and figured everything out and really could put into words how great last episode was, but I'm still just kind of dumbfounded. I just feel dumb whenever I try to think about it or put it into words. I loved last episode. That's all I can say.
At this point, I feel like we've said so many times, like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite episode so far. That now I'm like, there's too many to count of favorite episodes so far.
Yep.
And that's how I feel about last episode.
So good.
It was so good.
You texted me something yesterday about Attack on Titan.
Yes.
And then immediately screamed at me and told me not to read it.
I texted you something, and then I texted you like 10 text messages after that saying, don't read it, don't read it, don't read it, don't read it, like over and over and over again. And then I called him to make sure if the text didn't get through in time, that I could in fact make sure he did not read it. Because, you know, sometimes it's more fun to tell each other the things we think of right here on the spot instead of away from the camera, I guess.
Yeah.
So what I texted you about is I was thinking about the last couple minutes of last episode where we get this constructed act from Zeke. And I realized that, you know, in hindsight, that I was pretty gullible and naive during both that moment and the discussion afterward in not realizing that, you know, I was gullible to believe that the only lie that was there was that he had constructed this plan. But I didn't focus on some of the things that he said at the very beginning, which about how long he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to think to myself, wow, I left that discussion, I left that conversation thinking that he had in fact been there for years, but he had constructed this plan during this time. And for years, we mean obviously a weird passage of time inside the paths. But I started thinking, like, why did I believe that if I already know that he was lying in that conversation and he was acting? And I started to think about what is possible for this power and what are the rules of what we've learned specifically through Zeke as a character in those last couple minutes. And I realized that they could have arrived to the paths at the same time. Ymir could have approached them, and Zeke could have said, Ymir, wipe Eren's memories and put him to sleep. Make him believe this when he wakes up is the first time he has woken up here.
Maybe.
And then
That's
done
true.
this. He could have had a plan that once he got there, do this.
That's
and
true.
just put Eren to sleep. He didn't even have to be there for multiple years. I mean, we were trying to figure out why Eren wouldn't have woken up right away anyway.
So do you think his beard and like fingernails are made out of sand?
Yes, I mean, if he could be rebuilt, he could be rebuilt in any way.
It's interesting. It's a good point. I think that could be the case. I connected to that. I was just, do you have to die to be here? And if so, when did Zeke die? Did Zeke die and then get brought back, and that's how he caught Eren's head? Like, or do you just have to be mortally wounded to be able to be in this world with the paths?
That's a great question.
You know what I mean?
That is a great question. That it seems like the times from Zeke, at least, and now from Eren, that we have arrived here at the paths. At least, I guess, for Zeke, we can't really even say for Eren, because Eren could be there purely from having contact with Zeke in those final moments. And for Zeke, it seems to be times, maybe, where he, at first, was very gravely wounded, was put inside that Titan.
Yeah, I guess that's the question, because, like, obviously, like, we know that the second Eren and Zeke touched, Eren, you know, woke up in this world, everything went down, and Zeke had mentioned that he felt like he had been there for years, but like obviously the whole time's like messy in this. The first time we saw Zeke being reconstructed was, like you said, in the whole Levi incident with the Thunder Spears. Was that the first time that he was allowed here? Had he been allowed here before? Was like...
Has he ever been injured so badly
was,
as he was there?
Yeah, or was he able to get here first because he didn't have as much rebuilding that needed done versus Aaron, who was literally just a skull?
Like spawning time.
Yeah, exactly. Like a respawn time, yeah. Aaron's had too many TKs, so he has to I don't know.
I mean, like, I would understand it. Aaron's head was chopped off.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm excited to get into it. You?
Yes. I'm really nervous, though. I'm excited and nervous. I don't know what's going to happen now.
All right. Let's go. Aaron?
This is Historia's child. No?
Looks like Grisha, no?
Okay.
This is like that Spirited movie. What is it from? Ghost of Christmas Past?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That one. Look at Aaron's face.
Mm-hmm. Did Grisha really raise him to be this?
How would Zeke know, other than just assuming?
He's like, oh, okay, check that off the list. I tried. Oh my god. But he didn't steal it until he had to for some reason.
Look at Zeke's face. Who's the real one brainwashed? He chose this family over it.
Such confidence in that.
He never forgot about them. Aaron's controlling this. Aaron's fucking with Zeke. No.
No.
Maybe because he had the Attack Titan and Founding Titan? Or just like a ghost.
It's like both of them are trying to use the memories to prove prove something to the other one. They both are going in there maybe with assumptions. Oh.
Fucking, okay, so get this. I watched this on our last reaction that I was editing. You know the Marcel
in the window with Porco? I wanted to look at it closer.
It's not Marcel.
It's not? Is it Reiner?
Nope.
Is it Falco?
Nope.
What? Okay. I wanted to know who it was. I'm so excited. It's gonna happen so fast. Okay. It happened too fast. Who was it?
We'll look at it in the discussion.
Okay.
Wandered for years in his memories. He inherited memories, maybe.
Look at Zeke and Grisha reacting at the same time.
Animals, they just happen to look like people. The writing is so good. Playing ball. Good luck. I can't believe we're seeing this. I cannot fucking believe this show, dude. I love how Zeke's just speed running the first 3 seasons. Time's instant and infinite.
When she opens her eyes.
So they tapped into it. To the will.
Judgment Day. This is Judgment Day.
Why was he disgusted? Holy shit. It's happening. 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 Drop my pen.
Did he know you guys were gonna get together?
The future is already decided. Is Aaron gonna make him do it?
No. What? Oh my god.
Show me Zeke's face. Aaron felt it, remember?
Oh, but their father.
He's not.
He doesn't know when it happened.
He's only. Oh,
he doesn't even know
fucking
if
shit,
saved
Aaron.
Aaron.
Fucking shit. No shot. He knows it. They have to be together. Because he wanted to. Is this the best show that you've ever seen? We are back in our discussion format with Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 20.
Yeah.
We are very calm and collected, civilized individuals who know how to, hold ourselves eloquently.
Yeah, high standards.
And we
represent ourselves well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're very polite, and we have great etiquette. We know what the big and the small forks are for at dinner, and which one's the soup spoon. We're I don't know. I don't fucking know. I work really hard on notes.
Yeah, I'm like, I think because honestly, like I get your visceral reaction to wanting to rip it, but because of how much you love your notes, it shocked me like even more. Like, you're very particular about your notes, and them being heavily organized and, secure in one book that is purely Attack on Titan. A lot of tape.
Yeah, I am obviously very what I'm about to say is extremely subjective, and I just came out of the movie theater, so to speak, but I can't imagine a better episode or a better story or a better series or a better anime or a better, I don't fucking know. I that was so fucking good. And it didn't come at some fucking cheap, like rug pull plot twist. It was
a masterful plot twist.
It was a masterpiece. It like I don't seeing Aaron and Zeke standing in shots that we saw when we first started this series might have like been the most surreal thing I've ever experienced in anime.
Like, I know we say, like, oh, we'll be so excited to be able to rewatch this show. And obviously, still, of course, definitely want to rewatch it. But it was really, really nice to... Sometimes I don't like recaps or, like, reshowings of things. Sometimes I think it feels used to take up time and fill things. But sometimes it's used to either re-immerse you when you're back into watching the show after an episode has ended. And other times, like this, which I've never seen before, it's used to show you that you were only seeing it from one angle. You weren't seeing the whole memory and everything that was included, everything that was in the background. You were only seeing it in a very kind of curated way. And it just opened up here.
Do you want to know what we were seeing it in? We were allowed to see it with whatever Aaron decided he wanted us to see. From season 1, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, there's that, like how, like, we saw the story play out in a very specific way. Mm-hmm. For a reason.
And obviously... You know those memories when they happened to a childhood Aaron? If we are now learning how much of a mastermind adult Aaron can be, then obviously he's only going to, as Grisha said, Grisha is only being given some memories. Child Aaron is also being given some memories. Specific memories of Grisha. Specific memories of, you know, like what's to come. Like, my God.
I want to look at this line. This isn't the only time
in Two Brothers
this line happened. Yeah, in Two Brothers, but this is
about being born. Is that what you're going for?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that would be what it was, since it was kind of repeated.
No, it's this is the second time we've gotten this shot in Two Brothers. Mm-hmm. So like we had already seen this a few episodes prior. Mm-hmm. About how Grisha's memories opened up to Aaron, and Aaron's words about Grisha slaughtering the Wall's royal family. He crushed their little kids
and smeared them like bugs.
I felt it too. Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God.
Honestly, I don't even know if I can tap into how I feel about Aaron right now in any sort of like personal, I like this character, I'm proud of them. I don't know. I don't think I can tap into any of that right now because all I feel, and the overwhelming feeling is
he's cold as fuck.
That I am entertained. I am impressed by this character writing, and I am like, oh my God, what's coming next? Like, this episode shook me. I am shocked. I am surprised.
I'm kind of, I don't know what to do right now.
I think we just need to skip through the episode, like, you know, really, actually, because there was a lot of great dialogue.
But no, that's what I mean, because like I'd say like the first 45%, 40% of this episode, I was like so enamored and like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk about the lines that we've gotten, the shots that we've gotten.
And then I
can't wait to show Anna
crazy.
The reflection of Porco in the intro.
Yeah.
Fuck all of that, bro.
And then it all went crazy. I was like, wow, we're getting some great dialogue. Yeah. Awesome. Can't wait to like go back and reread this and unpack it.
Now I'm speechless.
And now we're like, what just happened? It is like the rug pulled from under you. You're like, you think you know what you're, you know, I was like, wow, it is kind of crazy that Zeke, I thought the plot twist, or I thought that the big thing that was happening in this episode was that Zeke was learning through walking through Grisha's memories how Grisha truly felt. I thought that was enough. In the beginning of this episode, I was like, wow, I'm so glad that, like, we're getting to walk through Grisha's memories and Zeke and Aaron are doing it together. This is awesome. And I thought that that's all it was going to be, and it was gonna stop there, and that was what the point was.
Yo, when Grisha walked up to the church the first time, that's when everything went fucking, like, just throwing everything at the wall. Like, I was like, what? Like, what does this mean? Like, he found it this long ago, and yet he waited.
And Zeke was even like, wait, what?
I was like, what? Okay, you're right, though. We should go through it from the beginning, because I don't think I can handle myself otherwise, you know?
I thought you were cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Okay.
Me being cool, calm, and collected. So, beginning of the episode.
There was a baby. And I at first was like, Historia's baby?
Yeah.
Because that is the only baby I thought was possibly going to be shown to me. Didn't even think about the memories route beforehand.
Yeah. It's a really, really weird feeling, seeing Grisha be a genuinely, like, happy in the moment father.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, just, like, how, like, Aaron's, like, pulling at his cheek, and, like, just, you know, it's, like, very just, oh my god, he's an actual father. And just getting the reiteration of fucking, like, look, Grisha's like, oh, I hope I'm doing everything right. And, like, it's, like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm having a really hard time putting my feelings into words right now. That was fucking nuts. But as Zeke walks out the door and Aaron just, like, stays behind.
He lingers.
You like, looking at this right afterwards, like, after what we just got, is really fucking with me. Like what is going through Aaron's mind right now? Must be nice, Grisha. Here you can live out a happy life.
I mean, when we first started this episode, I think I had said it maybe previously that I had felt like I didn't think Grisha had brainwashed Aaron. And I did feel that it just didn't seem like that was how Aaron acted, or how some of the scenes we had seen, which were very few, between Aaron and his father. But then by talking about his father, and then just from seeing how Aaron acted, it didn't really, like, fit that I thought he was in fact brainwashed to do anything. It seemed like he lived rather freely. And then that was kind of validated at the beginning of this episode. Obviously Zeke assumed otherwise before walking this memory path.
Aaron's, like, just, like, such, like, this whole entire episode is looking at Zeke like, you stupid motherfucker. You have no fucking clue what, like I'm just gonna sit here and wait for I'm gonna wait for instant and infinite amount of time and let you take me through this entire thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna watch you the entire time, knowing how much of a fucking idiot you are. Like,
especially with some lines we get later about kind of how confident Aaron is in knowing himself.
I just want to specify, I'm not saying that I believe that Zeke or what he was doing or his plan or anything is stupid. I am solely talking about
how
the
Aaron
expression on Aaron's face and what I funnily or comedically imagine to be going through his head when he's staring at Zeke in these memories. So good.
I like that they both chose to, like, grow out their hair a little bit in ways to kind of symbolize their father. That works for me for this episode, with, like, both of them being
Aaron
in the
chasing
room
a
with Grisha.
butterfly. The last thing we get in the new intro is a butterfly being crushed by a colossal titan.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
It's and the butterfly was going towards Grisha. Oh. It's almost like this feeling of, like, hope.
Next one.
God
and
damn.
Then we learn that Grisha was purposefully trying to climb the ladder, if you will, in terms of, like, who he treated, making sure he treated people of high standing also.
Aaron being like Zeke's like, do you know why, Aaron? Like, ready to, like, give him the fucking, like, spiel of his life, being able to like lay down some wisdom on his younger brother Aaron.
Oh, this interaction was hilarious.
And Aaron immediately is like, because he's an asshole who tossed his family into a ditch to restore Eldia. I get it now. I was wrong. And Zeke was like, I didn't even get the pleasure of saying that. Like, I just wanted to say it. You're like, what the hell? You don't have to learn so quick.
It's like all of this is just kind of a game, almost, to Aaron.
Aaron, like, you know what this is to me? This is Aaron already knowing, since the whole future Attack Titan thing, this is Aaron already knowing what Zeke's gonna say before he said it, so he said it before he could. Like, to just kind of even throw in a fucking Easter egg for Zeke. After Zeke's learning everything, he's probably like, thinking back this.
I'm no longer brainwashed.
Yeah.
That whole interaction was hilarious, because he's just... It's like he is kind of entertained right now by this whole scenario.
God, seeing all the memories of Aaron as a kid growing up with Hans, Grisha, and having Zeke and Aaron... present self, I guess, not future self, or just watching by. Mm-hmm. Who do you think Aaron's looking at?
I believe that might be the person that Grisha was previously treating when they were outside the window having that conversation, and then this, either he put them on some type of sleeping medicine and or they have died and he is stealing documents from in their desk. Gotcha. Is what I'm guessing. This is him tracking down, I guess, who the royal family in fact is.
Fucking Kenny.
And Grisha, when we're seeing him, even before he gets to the hideout, he has like this sweat droplet drawn on his face. Like, none of this is something he's comfortable with. And it reminds me back to how he seemed and how he felt when Kruger kind of was like, it's your turn now, I'm putting this onto you. And he was just like...
My biggest, like, holy shit, this episode's really fucked up and I can't believe they're going there, originally was like, man, that sucks that, like, I can't imagine what Zeke's thinking right now. Grisha chose the second son and is like, oh yeah, I like this son better. He's cuter than you were. Sorry, I'm gonna, like, you know, pick him. I'm gonna treat him differently and better. And then obviously it goes down in a fucking crazy different direction. But in the moment, I was like, man, that's a fucked up sight to see.
Honestly, through this whole episode, Zeke goes through an emotional journey.
Yeah.
Of feeling a lot of different things, going from a place where he's like, my father is a horrible, vile man that brainwashed me and my brother, to my father is a horrible man that brainwashed me but was nice to the second brother but didn't love me as much, and then like so on and so forth. He goes down this line and kind of developing how he views Grisha, and it's changing fluidly throughout the memories and the episode.
So how do you perceive this scene? So to lay out the scene, it's Grisha being passed out, working on writing on the book, while Zeke is in the background after he realized that, you know, he's going to give like this second life more time, and said that it's a stark contrast for me. It seems that he learned from his past mistakes. And then, however, you moved exactly how father wanted you to.
And that's a good foreshadowing line.
Yeah.
That is like flipped on its head when you get to the end.
But look at this. However, you moved exactly how father wanted you to. The original you is gone. Sooner or later, you'll see. And then watch this. Ready? Aaron like notices the picture of Zeke, Grisha, the fam, and then immediately like stares at it, and then that's when Grisha starts like talking about saying sorry, Zeke. Do you think
he like put Zeke's image
into Grisha's head
mind as Grisha was sleeping
to like fuck with Zeke or get him to doubt like his entire message here?
Is the whole point of this is Aaron just trying to like fix a family?
I don't know how you got
that. I'm just messing. Like, is Aaron trying to like rebuild Zeke and Grisha's relationship and get them to the point they get to at the very end of the episode? I'm like, obviously, Aaron, I don't know how he feels at the moment or what he's doing, but to plant Zeke, possibly, if we're going the route that is possibly Aaron's doing by recognizing the photograph.
He's like, Zeke, is that you? It's like Aaron showed him like a picture of who he is currently,
mm-hmm.
you know? Like, let him peek into what it looks like now. Or
it was because
the Attack
maybe
Titan.
and Aaron has the Attack Titan too, so anything Aaron sees.
But obviously Aaron can manipulate the memories Grisha sees. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the big fucking takeaway. Maybe this is
where he learns that. Maybe this is where he learns that he can influence this plane. is here when he's thinking about that picture, and he does something internally in his mind, and then that's why he's like, wait, what? It worked, and now Dad can see us. And then that's how he learns that he can influence this plane, and he can do something to the past. He has to learn that somehow. And maybe this is the moment that we're seeing where he learns that he can do that.
Maybe. I'm trying to find... I'm usually pretty good with this stuff, but I'm not doing great. I'm looking for the conversation that Aaron had with Hanji after they met for the first time in the basement. Because I want to get the actual quote correct. But, yes. Their memories will tell you how to use it.
The memories will tell you how to use it.
The fucking future memories, like, not the past memories. Like, he knows.
Your older self will teach you what to do, basically. The memories of the future.
It's just, it's just thinking on, like, all these specific memories I have. And I know that I only remember a fucking, like, 3% of what has happened. And if that. And I'm still, like, trying to, like, holy shit, the repercussions, like, the callbacks that you'd be able to make and fit in, right? I'm just blown away. It was like, don't be silly, a bearded man can't be Zeke. Next memory, Zeke.
See, it's like he wants to, it's like he just realized something here, possibly. And so he's like, okay, let's see if I can do it again. Let's see if something else can happen later. Let's see how much influence I can actually have.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
For the intro?
Yes, the Porco. I am, this is what I have lived my life for. I'm ready for this moment to see what the reflection is. It's about to happen.
Now I'm worried that I, like, might have seen it wrong. I don't think I did, but... Yep.
Oh, it's Ymir.
Uh-huh. How cool is that?
Wow.
I mean, it makes sense. It's the person before him.
Wow.
Her eyes are closed.
A person who was also slightly self-sacrificial to the people that they cared about.
God, that's something.
I guess they kind of have not like slightly similar personalities. I can't like totally break it down, but I'm feeling it a little bit.
Well, like I get the how it could have been Marcel, but I think this makes more sense narratively for it to be Ymir and the reflection of an intro.
Especially with how this intro is and what other visuals we get of like all of them standing on the wall, and it really is an opening that is bringing the past and what is currently happening together, and then even like the paths and maybe even the future all in one, kind of a culmination of everything that we're getting in this season.
So as I'm like scrolling back to present day.
Scrolling back.
Sorry, God, technology. Flipping pages back. I passed
books?
I passed Ilse's notebook.
I loved Ilse's notebook.
So do you think that every time somebody's turned into a Titan, they, like just a regular Titan, not like one of the 9, they're able to see memories of the past and know who the original founder was? Or was that Titan...
I believe that Titan was an abnormal.
Oh no, that Titan was one of the ones who got pushed off the wall.
Yes, it was
right?
the one that was next to Ymir, and I believe it was also an abnormal because it didn't want to attack anyone.
Yeah, the word, wasn't she on the Titan in Ilse's notebook? Where were they from? The Ymir memory?
They were from Marley.
Okay.
Right?
So they were part of the restorationists who knew of the history about the original founder of Ymir. Mm-hmm. God, that's fucking.
And that's why they named Ymir.
God,
or the person
damn
that
it.
took Ymir from what I'm assuming was somewhat of an orphanage of sorts.
Holy. And talking about like the idea of like a, I don't know, like a vessel that is like fake royal blood. Oh my God, dude. I don't know. I don't even know.
And now, of course, we know that they were killed. I mean, the Marleyans wouldn't want someone of royal blood of the Eldians, around announcing themselves, growing the amount of Eldians that would join the Restorationists. It makes... At first, I thought they were... when we first got those memories of Ymir, I thought that they were killed because they were pretending to be... She was pretending to be the royal family, and or it was sacrilege or treasonous of some sort to have these gatherings. I did not go the route of, obviously we learn later about the Restorationists, and of course Marley wouldn't want the Eldians to kind of try to combine their powers and secretly meet in order to, talk about the founder highly, positively, because of the textbooks that Marley pushes of what the history is and how you need to view Ymir. It makes a lot more sense now.
I feel like such an idiot right now. Like, not in, I just don't feel like I'm able to put my, thoughts and feelings into words because I'm like so caught up and fucked because of this past episode. It was so, like, I can't get over it. Like, I don't know the last time I've reacted this way and felt this way after watching a movie or TV show. Like, I don't know. Hey, humanity did have an ace up its sleeve. Like, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Like,
oh, wow.
To think you were never brainwashed by him, Zeke tells Aaron. I told you this was pointless before we wandered for years in his memories.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you betray me? Your father told you nothing and made you inherit a Titan. Yet you're fighting just like he wanted?
Aaron
oh my God.
made himself inherit the Titan.
Did Aaron?
Aaron made himself inherit the Titan.
Did Aaron do it? Could you make... Okay, I'm not telling you this is true. I'm saying, could you make the argument that Aaron's the one who gave Zeke a fucked up childhood?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Because he didn't have the Attack Titan yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Grisha, didn't have the Attack Titan yet?
Yeah, I don't think...
I'm trying to just put my thoughts together. I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand.
It's okay. I also feel very... kind of stuck in my brain a little bit. My thoughts are, I feel like that's been a common occurrence in the last maybe like 4 episodes or so, where I feel like my brain kind of blows up a little bit during the show.
Yeah.
That afterwards I feel very like desaturated and unsure exactly where to go, what to talk about, what are my thoughts, and my brain feels like so I want to turn off because this is like so awesome. I just want to like preserve it, keep it in there.
Okay, so once I was gonna do it now, but it'd make more sense once we get there narratively, like chronologically. But once we get to the, I guess, revelation or the actual words later on in the episode about the Attack Titan and stuff, I would love to just try to take a second away from screen and like talk, and try to really understand everything,
Mm-hmm.
But when Aaron was like, I am who I've always been from the moment I was born, and it's the fucking memory of Aaron murdering those people with Mikasa. Oh my God.
I want to go back to last episode when Aaron says, Zeke originally asks why. And obviously, again, in this episode, he kind of asks for more elaboration on that why. And originally in the last episode, Two Brothers, Aaron says, because I was born into this world. And the inflection on the I specifically is what I'm calling to for this dialogue right in this moment in this episode we just watched, of him identifying what type of person he is and who he has always been. And so when you go back to that line of because I specifically me, the person that has all these traits that we now are hearing him call upon about himself, rather
than the complete opposite, which was the implication previously.
Well, because he lives here,
he's
alive.
Human.
He's another human. That's where you would go originally, out of context of how he truly feels about himself that you learn later on. You're like, because I was born sounds like a very poetic line, where really now it feels much more purposeful and like, because I know myself.
I was born
and
into this
I
world.
was born, and now we know the I make this path for myself. I decided to inherit this Titan and force this situation to come to pass. Like, I am the true main character in charge of the story.
The only
if you will.
truth is that there is no truths.
And because I was born, things are gonna change.
Yeah.
The ace up your sleeve.
Fuck. God damn. You may have thought we were the same.
But you're wrong.
Oh my god. Grisha's like...
Obviously, Grisha doesn't want anyone to die. You know, these people...
What a great line. I'm sorry. I couldn't, like, hold myself back.
Oh, I wrote this one down. Okay, well, I wrote it down and, like, all I wrote was freedom. I'll steal theirs first.
Rather than letting someone steal my freedom, I'll steal theirs first. Holy shit. Oh my god, dude. The fire burning.
I can't... Honestly, like, just if you take that line at, like, face value, you can't be too mad at someone that doesn't want their freedom taken away from them, because I think everyone is due freedom. I think everyone deserves, like, you know, to be happy and free.
I just... Fuck. Like, it's so fucking metal. Like, it's so crazy. Like,
everything Aaron says in this episode is, like, metal and cold and awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, so I wrote a little bit down. I tried to get a lot down in terms of, like, when Aaron was describing kind of what type of little brother Zeke was hoping for and expecting. Pathetic and convenient.
Yeah.
Convenient was my favorite. I wrote down convenient brother because I really liked that word choice of, like, it's convenient to Zeke for his narrative and for his selfish wants of his life to have a little brother. It's like this fulfilled Zeke, you know? Aaron has become, you know, like people say, like, don't have kids if you're, like, trying to, like, make them fill a void in your life or something. Like, you should, you know, fill your cup first and, like, you know, then. And it's like the convenient line, I really liked that. I liked that word choice. Yeah. To share your emotional scars with. Zeke wanted so badly to have this familial bond to share these burdens with and to be like-minded and it was convenient.
I want to talk about the lines in the background. If I'm honest, I'm just trying to really understand things. Mm-hmm. I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, I completely understand this. This is one of those times that I'm just trying to grasp at straws to make sure I understand things before I try to dissect or anything. The conversation of Aaron and Grisha after Aaron had the interaction with Mikasa and killed his people.
That's going on at the same time as this little brother lines.
And because I was trying to read both captions while also looking at the...
I was focusing on the bottom, and that's why I caught it. I
wanted to talk about the top. Yeah,
it went so fast that all I read of the top was military police.
Okay, so I'm glad then, because I just want to read it with you. Okay, so they would have been long gone by the time military police arrived. This was Aaron's justification for doing what he did to Grisha. It would have been too late. Even so, you're just lucky, Aaron. And then this one. The way you casually threw your life away is what I'm angry about. Like, does he mean threw your life away as in, like, he was careless with his life and could have died there?
Right. Like, it's interesting here because, obviously, I think we even talked about it when we first saw this episode, that it's, like, this... you know, Grisha's in this kind of tough position because he can't be too mad at Aaron because Aaron protected another person and saved a little girl's life, basically. Well, you know, Mikasa helped a bit. But that Grisha was willing to protect someone is not something that Grisha wants to squash in his child or reprimand necessarily in his child. But he also, which is something that is a common theme kind of through the earlier seasons, in how some of the friends view Aaron, he doesn't want Aaron to take his life lightly. He wants him to know that his life is special, important, and he needs to take care of it. And I think that kind of line of throwing his life away is something you get throughout the first couple seasons in how some of the other characters view a maybe recklessness in actions.
I agree.
Like, we can't lose you. And then the whole fourth season, you know, once we get Levi and everyone back, they're like, you knew we had to follow you because you basically are our ace. You have the thing that we can't lose. And you used that so that we would come to your aid.
What would you describe it as? Like, obviously manipulative, sure. But, like, I don't know. It's so, like, it's more than that, you know? It's so deliberate. Everything's so
Everything
like
that he has done is, I guess now we're seeing even more so that everything that Aaron does is very like true to himself, deliberate, purposeful. And then as he gets older, there can possibly be seen some taking that and then using it to his advantage, like you seeing what he can get from who he is and how he acts so that he can still be himself,
yeah.
and what he can gain from still acting like himself, and how can he self-preserve while still doing what he wants to do. And that's by having people need him, care for him, want to fight with him or for him. That's how he can self-preserve while also getting what he wants.
Man, there's so much.
And then we get, just like Mr. Kazava did for me, and what's on the screen at the same time? Just a random little boy, and I guess a father figure,
playing
maybe
ball.
even playing ball at the same time, and we're walking by it. Aaron, I don't even think Aaron's looking necessarily at it. I don't know. It's clear that Zeke's looking at this little boy playing ball, but I feel like Aaron is somewhat still looking toward Grisha and Grisha's back.
Yeah.
And maybe even Zeke in this moment.
Also, before back at that campfire scene when Zeke was like walking away, Aaron was just like standing there, like looking at Aaron and Mikasa, like in their interaction, and Aaron giving Mikasa the scarf and blushing, and Aaron was just kind of standing there like staring at it. I wonder what is Aaron. I wonder if Aaron's ever going to be able to come back to life.
I don't know. I don't know the extent of the rebuilding, and the what actually kills someone with Titan powers. I don't understand the extent of it other than if you get eaten. I do want to say that I'm thinking I've possibly learned a rule in terms of like the memories, and a rule in terms of the paths with one Titan and its successors. I think the rule of thumb is that you can only affect the memories of like a time maybe when you were alive and the person you got it from, and not before that. I'm thinking maybe. I know that Kruger said Mikasa and Armin, but that could be Aaron influencing Grisha influences Kruger.
So rephrase that. So I can write it down. So your what our current thought is.
My current thought is the rule is that you can only affect the memories of a person that you are directly involved with, the successor before you, maybe, because then you get their memories and you can go back into them. Okay. Possibly? Or can
did you say alive the first
time?
Huh? Did you say alive? Like they had to be like...
You were alive currently?
Okay.
I don't actually. I'm just.
No. I know. I'm saying this because remember I said that once we get to the dialogue for it, I wanted to try to break down and understand as best as we can how the power
how it actually works.
Yeah. At least as best as we can. It's interesting that we see Grisha's expression here after he is finished writing in his book, puts it in the drawer, locks the drawer, and then is holding the key. And it's like he is seeing a memory that Aaron is allowing him to see, or seeing Aaron presently. It might be the influence of maybe giving Grisha the idea of giving Aaron the key for the first time, perhaps, Maybe.
I think I might want to change what I said earlier, though.
Okay.
I think, I don't think Grisha would have planted Mikasa and Armin in Kruger's head.
You don't think Grisha would have?
Not by his own design. I think Aaron would have put that in Grisha's head. Maybe,
I agree with you. Give me 1 second. You talk first.
Armin and Mikasa are important to Aaron. I still kind of hold true to that. I still think that that's the case. I think more so now that I'm like actually really... Wow, it is hard to talk. I am so sorry. I'm like, because I'm trying to come up with something to say so that you can write something down. Do. I'm not gonna do the Jeopardy song. I don't want to get copyrighted on it. I was about to start doing it, and then I was like, wait, is that bad? Am I allowed to do that? Now I'm just rambling. Okay. Are you done yet?
Sure, I'll be done now. Anyway, okay, so next we have Eren and Mikasa coming home. This is a fucking scene we've seen, dude. This is a scene we've seen. We've seen this scene. And it's so fucking different now that, God, imagine
just
if
to
like
have them like standing there like they're family members in the actual room with everyone. It's
dude, imagine if like we had like the first time we saw this, there was like one frame that it's the same exact thing, but in one frame they like include like Zeke and Eren, like just to like fucking. It would be like way too obvious.
It's
but
like Zeke and Eren were always there.
Yeah.
And that we were just never shown.
This is what I do.
Would you want to go back into the first episode at all? Just it doesn't have to be right now, but in that scene where the mother grabs Eren's face, you can see that Zeke and Eren. You can see like the lower half of their bodies in the background. What angle was that shot shown from? Because if we're learning this now, obviously this is all probably within Grisha's head, so it didn't need to be seen in the first episode, but there's nothing there, and it's the same angles for everything. How unsettling is that for Grisha to basically be haunted by ghosts?
I have a question for you. Good fucking point. I have a question for you. Do you think
of the future?
Well, from what we understand, right? From what we understand, the animation has changed a little bit, right? At some point going on. Do you think that since they own the property, they're able to use the same actual animation and then draw onto it? Because to me, it looks like they had to redraw it. Probably for consistency, it'd just make more sense to have like a symbolic,
Yeah.
But
I mean, they were very, very true to it for the most part of exactly where things are and consistency and room building. It's just like Eren's hair is a little different.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, find the difference between these two photos.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. His
face is slimmer too.
Yeah, a little bit, but everything else is in place, other than
Mm-hmm.
But so this is what I wish.
It is interesting seeing that there are two different art styles, basically.
Yeah. God damn, this is so fucking trippy, dude. It's really trippy. If obviously if it was the wide shot where you see Zeke and Eren in the future, if like the whole little bit that I just did of the like one frame was that'd be like way too obvious, right? Mm-hmm. But what if it was like on like a close up?
That's what I thought. That's why I wanted to see, because I thought it might possibly be in the background and we just didn't even notice it, but it's not.
That would be the place to hide it, right?
It's the ghost of Grisha's future.
God, so cool. God, I love this show so much. So trippy.
Okay. So we got, father going to the interior, and while we got this scene, all I could think was, does Grisha know? Why does he leave? Are we going to find out why he leaves today when obviously horrible things happen later that day? Because we thought that maybe he left because he knew that this was going to happen this day.
Yeah.
And his timing was very specific, we thought. But now, obviously, toward the end of the episode, we realized that that was not the case.
When did we get Zeke when did we get Grisha being taken from outside of the walls?
Oh. Was it when Hans died?
I don't think so. Could be though. But regardless, I remember when he was in the bar and he was talking about what the scouts are and what the mission is and why the mission is. Mm-hmm. It's very, very, very similar to Eren's reasoning for wanting to be a part of the scout regiment, mm-hmm. right? And it almost makes me think like, man, at some point could Eren have seen Grisha's interaction with this? God, you know what? No. Not once have they stopped to wonder how wide the world might be. Is that why you venture outside the walls? Is that what scouts do? That's right. Does it seem foolish? Not at all. The scouts are wiser and braver than anyone else in the walls. Your existence signifies the freedom in our souls. You're the pride of humanity. It's like Aaron talking out of Grisha's mouth right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. It's like it's so like the idea of like Aaron's message that's coming right here. Aaron, why do you want to go out there? And then Aaron's reasoning. I want to know what the outside world is like. How wide it is, you know? I don't want to live my entire life in ignorance inside the walls. If no one else is willing to take their place, then the lives of all who've died will be for nothing.
Which brings you back to, Perfect Game and Charge in kind of the speech of Erwin and how all of those new scout recruits were feeling about were they going to die for nothing here? Were they just charging and they were going to die? Were they even going to be remembered and having made any influence at all?
God. It's like, later on in the episode, how it's like Aaron talks to Grisha and like convinced him to go through with it, seemingly.
Mm-hmm.
I convinced or controlled, probably convinced, maybe a little of both. I don't know. Whenever Grisha is like eyes wide and then you get the like serious lines drawn down on his forehead and eyes, like it makes me feel like that's the times that he's seeing
a ghost.
He's seeing a ghost, you know, or seeing something in the future or being manipulated or being told to do something or controlled, whatever it is.
Honestly, he might not even be seeing like actually Aaron standing there or Zeke standing there. He could purely be seeing like implemented memories of the future, like shots and scenes.
Maybe. God, don't you like wish that we got that side of it? Like of just
if that was the case and he wasn't just seeing Aaron standing in front of him.
Just like I wonder if there's like a fan edit of of you could get that same thing and then piece together parts of the first 4.5 seasons and show like little bits of what Grisha could have been seeing in the future. You know what I mean?
And only enough. As he says at the very end of the episode, that he's only ever been given a certain amount and to a certain point in the future.
But dude, holy shit is that... I know we're going to get there, but holy shit, that's powerful. Because regardless of if you're shown the truth of history, what's the fucking... the fucking oldest adage in the world, right? The victors are the ones who write history. If you're shown like 100% true visions of the future, but they're being curated by somebody, that's not the true future. Like it is somebody controlling what you perceive the future to be. And that's terrifying.
To create actions from you that fit in the narrative that they wish to have play out.
Yeah.
They're curating this for you. As I used that word earlier to describe what Zeke did last episode, he curated this act of trying to figure out how Aaron truly felt while in the paths and with the Ymir. There's manipulation, curation, only giving someone a small amount. We have the idea of memories being wiped completely. We have the ideas of just histories being written in certain ways with biases, like...
Yeah. Like when Grisha's saying, before my wife and children, before the people of the walls are eaten, do something about this. Like, how much free will did Grisha really have, or does Grisha really have? And does him possessing the Attack Titan, although it does allow him to see the future, does it, or like, you know, through a filter, does it also like potentially push his free will on to wanting to break free and wanting to do his own thing and like do things his own way? What if the purple eyes activated it and in Frida and they were like, okay, sounds good, we'll do it that way. Then what happens? Then what would Aaron have done, you know? It's so trippy. I realized something from the Great Titan War. We mustn't allow the power of the Titans to fall into people's hands. If the Founder's power falls again into weak hands, the world shall again become hell. God damn.
And Aaron already views the world currently as hell.
That girl and I are on the same page. I'm like, okay.
This whole scene just...
But the whole family...
Not just the fact that... And we just had those lines about Judgment Day. We don't know. Obviously, Grisha does not know when it's going to come. And neither does Frida in this literal situation.
Yeah.
And he's like, Carla. And I'm like, oh my God. Eren only truly influences one thing to happen. And he does.
Holy shit.
And just to know that he could influence things, and that he basically is like, I'm not gonna stop what got me here. I'm just gonna make sure that I get there. It's like, because he realizes that if things had gone differently, if he had influenced, for his mother to not get eaten, and for him and his family to have escaped that peril, he would have still not been free. And so he still would have been within walls, vulnerable to Titans and vulnerable to this kind of society that had been created and held into place by the loss of memories, the loss of true freedom and autonomy.
If he did anything else, it would contradict what he said he did earlier in this episode. Mm-hmm. He needs to make sure that there's no chance that anybody could take his freedom. Mm-hmm. Even if it means, ignorant bliss, you live a happy life, fuck that. I don't give a shit. There's a risk that somebody could take my freedom, and I don't like that. So is that what
he sees here? Is he also sees that in this instance, when his father is unable to go through with this, does he see his father in this moment as siding with Zeke and Frida in the way that would still keep Eren from being truly free, and therefore he steals his father's free will basically by scaring his father, intimidating his father into, I don't even know what Eren truly can do to his father other than scare him, intimidate him, manipulate him. Is there more force than that? I don't know. But he's kind of taking away his father's will, which is his father does not want to kill children and does not want to go through with this. And so he's stealing his father's because his father won't go through with breaking Eren out of this.
I'm not saying this in any negative light, but Grisha is very short-sighted here. He's asking to kill the Titans attacking the walls. Mm-hmm. He's not trying to step up to the plate and figure out the world, or try to impose his will on the world, or trying to do anything that's bigger than inside of his own house right now.
It also shows how little memories of the future he has received.
So look,
because he's not even thinking about Marley attacking. He doesn't even know that Marley attacking is even in the realm of ideas.
I think he does. I think that the only reason he obviously knew where this place was years ago, and I think the only reason he came now is because Eren showed him a vision of his fucking family getting killed, and he's like, fuck, I just saw my family getting killed. I don't know why. The only way to stop it is to go to that place that I know where it's at and plead to them for them to save my family. And the only reason he did that was because Eren manipulated him to wanting to go there so that it could inevitably lead to them dying to get Eren the Founding Titan's power.
Question. When he says he's going to the interior and then he gets up and he shows the key to Eren, is that what he's seeing? Is that a judgment day will be coming? And that's why instead of actually going, did he actually have patience in the interior that he was going to go visit? And that was the true original plan. And then once he's in that doorway and we see those lines drawn across his eyes and he mentions the key, is that the moment where he realizes there is a judgment day and he needs to go there now?
I think it's probably around then, if not a little before. Maybe it's when he first locked the drawer in the basement and looked at Eren. Maybe that was it. But I think that it's around then. And god damn, how does that fuck with somebody?
I wonder if he would have. I mean, if we're going this route of possibility of showing things, how would you curate that in order to get the right response? I don't even think you would necessarily show a literal boulder falling on top of your household home or the mother getting eaten. I don't think you'd go that far. I think you would show something that would make someone's imagination run of the possibility of Titans coming into the city. Maybe just even show a Titan peering over the walls, that iconic image of the colossal Titan appearing. Maybe that's all it really needed to be to manipulate. Because wouldn't a good manipulation be that maybe you are making them come up with things and think that it's their idea and kind of run wild with their ideas and theories and stress over it and get anxious over it? You're not giving them the true, what happened. Mm-hmm. You're showing them one little thing in order to create a reaction. If he saw a boulder falling on his house, I don't know. Would he be like, I'm gonna move my family instead? Would
No,
he try to move them? Would he try to be like, we move houses? Because obviously a boulder's gonna fall on this house. Let's go get a different one.
I think you're exactly right. I think that if you show certainty of action, then that would sway you in a way that would defer from you being uncertain. And I think that a certain amount of fear comes with being uncertain. And if all you know is that 500 feet from your house, this colossal titan that you full well know its ability and power and what damage it can do appears and what that means, that's gonna fucking light a fire under you, and you are going to do whatever it takes to save your family.
The I think unknowing and being given just a little tiny crumb to run wild with anxieties is just so much worse.
Oh yeah.
It's so much. I hate not knowing. God. Like this, the unknown is terrifying.
Dude, this is so good. You once said you saw this memory and were disgusted with him. Look at Aaron's face, dude. Oh my God, was that a lie too? Look at that!
Aaron's face.
My house is right where the wall was broken. You know? So he sees that the wall's broken, at least.
That's maybe that's all he's been shown is...
I live there with my wife, son, and daughter.
Cosmica says daughter.
I know. The people of the walls don't know about their ancestors' sin. I would okay, I genuinely...
I wrote down a line from this literal exchange right here.
Honestly, I feel like this is the only episode I've ever wanted to do this with Attack on Titan. I don't even fucking want to have a discussion. I just want to rewatch the episode and do like a commentary video over it at this point. But the closest we can do to that is like...
Plus, we're already 14 minutes in.
Yeah.
So
the people of the walls don't know about their ancestors' sins
because you erase them.
It's like
when you get mad at someone for something that's out of their control, or you punish them for something that they literally had no, they couldn't have done otherwise because they were ignorant. They didn't know, naive. They were.
It's like you have had a family cat for 18 years and it's the best cat in the world and you love that cat and you love its personality, and even though it knocks water bottles over every now and then, at the end of the day it always comes back to you and cuddles up to you and does that specific weird trick. I don't know, it's something specific, and then when that cat passes on and you get another cat, some people are pissed that that new cat isn't exactly like the old cat. And all that cat was born into this world. All that cat is its own person who has no memories of the past that's happened. This cat does not deserve to get eaten by titans.
It's honestly, this cat would agree with Gabby. This cat would be on the same page with Gabby about that sort of thing of, we weren't there. We didn't see this. We didn't do it. And that has been a very common theme of how some of the younger characters are feeling as they're growing up in this world is, why are we having to kind of answer for and or deal with the damage of other people's decisions and things that happened before we even existed?
Yeah. It's a great point.
Honestly, when Gabby said that and brought that kind of idea forward to me, I was like, right, of course she's going to judge them on their actions and not why they did it, because she wasn't there to understand truly what their intentions were. It's not relevant to her.
Yep.
Because all that's relevant to her is the action that is right in front of her that she knows to be true.
I love just generally the term atonement.
Yes.
I think it's really specific, and its etymology is interesting as well.
Ignorant eaten equals atonement.
So I loved Grisha's lines here. More importantly, I love Frida's. And I just in a dialogue sense, the cat.
What was the cat again? I'm sorry.
You think the ignorant getting eaten by titans is atonement? Listen to this. No. No matter how much we repent, it won't bring back any of the lives that Eldians stole.
It's so, we're willing for...
However...
Okay, sorry.
We can prevent more lives from being stolen beyond the walls. So... if we remain ignorant and accept the world's hatred, it's only us Eldians who need to die.
Okay.
I'm not talking about myself, but in Frida's mind, in the king's mind, it's very similar to Zeke's, and the idea that we are going to save the rest of the world by making these decisions for our own race to end their lives so that potentially the rest of the world can live without fear. And I think that you can make the argument that you've inherently done fucked up and are not as almighty caring, such a savior of this world. What you're doing is so righteous and so, power. You've already fucked that up if you think that you get the decision. If you think your decision, you're the one to make that decision.
Yes,
if you think you're powerful enough and your decision and your idea is the right way to go about
things. You're
things.
also fucking up by putting worth more so on a different group of people. You're picking a group of people that is more worthy of living, that their stolen lives are bad, but you're gonna steal these people's lives and it's okay. Like, that's all, all of it.
But I'm sure that you can get away with the argument, talking like from Frida's sense, like in her mind, of, oh, we're not killing people. We're just letting this play out. We're not doing anything directly.
We
have to just, in a very similar way to Zeke, it's very similar to the whole euthanization plan, except
a little more involvement.
It's almost like sterilization.
It's a little more, yeah.
It's like letting Eldians die just by different means.
Right, but in a way, Zeke is putting an influence on it and getting somewhat more involved so that maybe it happens quicker.
Because he has the power to. He has the blood.
Yes, so Frida would have just let it take its course for centuries, maybe even, until finally all of the Eldians are dead. But Zeke is like, let's speed up the process.
Yeah. I said in the reaction, he was speed running the entire fucking series, and now he's trying to speed run the death of all Eldians. God, when Grisha...
It's only us Eldians who need to die.
When Grisha looks behind him at Eren...
I'd be scared.
Why? What's the, I need to know what is in Grisha's head right now. What is he seeing? Is all Grisha seeing his point of view and then a slightly different point of view from the right side of him? And he's seeing, the current, vision of Eren and himself at the same time?
Can he even see Eren, or is Eren's emotions and anger here so strong and, palatable that Grisha can just feel that he's there and feel that he's watching? Isn't that more scary? That kind of feeling.
The whole thing's terrifying. Yes.
That you can feel like someone is watching you, but you can't identify where they are, and you just feel like this hair on your back stands up, and you feel like something's watching you, is a lot more anxiety inducing. It's like Eren is doing everything possible here to make his father the biggest wreck in the world, the scaredest person in the world. This person's running out of the haunted house screaming, thinking they're about to get murdered.
He's using his father as a marionette, and what we've all learned from Pinocchio is that there's a soul in there somewhere. No, not Pinocchio. Is it Pinocchio? What's the one with the puppet? I obviously haven't seen a lot of things.
With the puppet.
Who turns into a real boy?
He wants to be a real boy.
Okay. Yeah, that. Grisha's Pinocchio. No, but it's so interesting because
Zeke.
Zeke is staring at Eren and not the situation in front of him, If you steal the founding titan from me, you can't. And then this is it. This is when everything went from 150 miles an hour to like a Concorde, 37,000 miles an hour.
Breaking the sound barrier.
Yeah, Frida's realization, I know I can't use the founding titan's power. This is when everything comes to fruition of, oh, nobody here knows what's going on except one person in this room, and they are giving you the dirtiest look that exists, Each of the 9 titans has its own special trait.
Okay, wait, just gotta comment, the look on Zeke's face is hilarious.
Including the attack titan within me. Oh my god, dude. I think this is when I ripped the book.
This probably was when you ripped the book.
For ages. This is when we gotta like, you know, I was gonna say taking notes. I don't have many pages left, but when we have to start paying attention to try to understand what the powers are, right?
Yes.
For ages, the inheritors of the Attack Titan have never bowed to anyone. So I think that is an important phrase and line to keep in mind going forward, because it's that whole like pushing through the walls, you know, keep going forward. Liberation. Titans have never bowed to anyone. And I know the reason why. To fight the king's self-righteousness. That's a fucking great way to put it.
Self-righteousness is the theme. One of the themes. I mean, there's so many themes to the show that are like consistently it's kind of like every single theme is just really hammered in throughout the entire every single season, every single episode almost. And self-righteousness and characters thinking that they have it right and that they're gonna force kind of their will onto others because they believe it is the right thing to do, or they think what they want is the best.
Yeah. What do you think this line after is? To fight the king's self-righteousness, and then it's Grisha talking. And I know, Grisha talking. Yes, we were led by our memories, all for this moment. So, do you think that the Attack Titan is a collective of memories that has an opinion, basically, and that opinion has come out with Aaron's motive being the strongest, or personality being the strongest, or will being the strongest?
Or because he has the founding Titan within him?
We were all led by our memories, all for this moment. The our memories makes me think that, like, the Attack Titan seems to be, like, the culminant, like, just its own like individual, and that individual is taking form in Aaron right now, and is primarily Aaron.
Or is it Aaron? Is he the last? Is he the end of the cycle and therefore he is the first? Is he the beginning and the end?
If you could see the end because of the Attack Titan's power, and you know how you're going to end up, then you know how you're going to be from the beginning, because you know how you're going to end up. You've always been that way, right? God, such an interesting line. We're led by our memories, all for this moment. The Attack Titan can glimpse into the memories of its future inheritors.
But how many in the future? Is it just the successor, the person that eats you? Is it just that Kruger got things from Grisha, or could Kruger get things also from Aaron?
I think that it's not bound by who the next person is. I think it's all future inheritors. And this brings up a question for me.
But then who decides what is actually able to be seen? The most future of the inheritors?
The last one?
The last one?
The first one? I don't... the person who the Attack Titan itself, whatever that personality has become.
Because obviously we know Grisha wasn't told
obviously
everything
Aaron
and shown
does,
everything.
right?
Yes.
But why? Yeah.
I like if we're going with cycles and paths and memories, I like the idea of Aaron being, because he is the end to this, he's also in a way kind of the beginning, the one that finishes the job and is the one that kind of makes sure that the ending comes to pass, like actually happens, and that his life goes the way that it did. Make sure it happens. Don't change anything. Make sure Grisha does this. Make sure Mikasa and Armin planted somehow in there. Like,
yeah. I'm trying to understand when the language that they use can glimpse into the memories of its future inheritors. It doesn't necessarily bind us to the belief of it has to be after this person inherits the Attack Titan. The phrasing and wording, I think, could imply that you can take a glimpse into memories of its future's inheritors, even if they haven't had the Attack Titan yet, and get it eventually in their lives, right?
Maybe.
That I feel like you could make that.
You could guess that
conclusion. If that's the case, then when did this all start? When did the manipulation and the direction, let's say that, the directing, who's directed this whole thing, right? Who's controlling this whole thing? When did that first start? When did the play first start? When did the string start happening? Was it the second that Zeke touched Aaron's head when it got shot off? Was it the second Aaron was born? Was it the second that the Attack Titan was created? Was it when did it start? Was it now?
I don't know. Was it the second that Aaron got his father's memories unlocked, basically?
But if Aaron's father...
Because there's influence in memories, and we have here Aaron influencing memories. Well, I wrote it down, and I know I keep bringing it up. So now we just got kind of a validation to some extent that Aaron can influence memories in the past. When Aaron, and by viewing them, and then maybe feeling something or thinking something, or just by viewing them alone, he is then almost present there in the past. Just as a ghost. That when Kruger said Armin and Mikasa, is it because Aaron was viewing these memories that is why there was a connection to that moment?
What do you mean? So, are you saying that because of Aaron's, are you saying that Aaron implanted that in Kruger?
I'm not saying purposefully.
I think it was purposeful. I think that was the start, or very early on in Aaron's manipulation of Grisha, because he obviously influenced Grisha by what Kruger said. Or Grisha was obviously influenced by what Kruger said. That being said, I don't know what benefit it would have done Grisha from Aaron's point of view to know the names of
That's
Armin
why I
and
don't
Mikasa.
believe it was actually influential, because I think if anything it was just a validation to Grisha that this was all true in fact, what he's been told by Kruger. I think it was just like, wow, okay, the future really is coming together and wow, those two names. That's why I'm going in the place that purely just by Aaron's presence connected into this one little moment sparked something. He tapped in, and he was there almost like a specter, spirit, ghost, like he is in this episode, and therefore could have some influence by his presence, whether intentional or not, but he was there, and he was connected to Kruger.
Yeah. I'm trying to, obviously it's very easy to see why it could be Aaron's influence.
It's all these people are living inside your head.
Yes, correct. Yeah, exactly. Past, present, and future. Mm-hmm. It's hard to say past, present, because everything's future ever since the Attack Titan was cultivated. And if it has access to that, and there's no limitation, without any other third party involved, Aaron, so to speak, then it would know its entire history and all of its holders, right? But this is when Grisha, goes his own way, right? Grisha knows what's to happen. I imagine he is being shown on his way over here, maybe here in itself, what Frida's gonna say next, and then the inevitable reality of Grisha eating and killing these people, and that's why he knows what's gonna happen next. And then he's like, you know what? Even though I know this is gonna happen next, last second, I can't do it. I can't kill these people.
I mean, some people, to go with that theory that he does in fact know that he needs to leave here. If they say no, he needs to leave here with that power. If he hadn't been influenced or hadn't felt anything, he might have gone into it slightly more optimistic. That if he told them of the future and told them he had the Attack Titan, that he could sway them and he could, get Frida on his side.
Yeah.
But he brings a weapon to be able to cut himself.
He's ready.
And
he
knows
prepared,
that he knows that it's a possibility that if they say no, he has to do this.
Did you forget what you came here for? To avenge your little sister eaten by dogs. Look at fucking Zeke, dude. He's like, how do you know? What? For your comrades, Dina, Kruger, to avenge them. Dinah. Oh my god. We're being shown flashbacks of Grisha's memory of when he was first given the Attack Titan. The editing here was great. You keep moving forward. Even if you die, even after death, like you keep moving forward, as in like the embodiment of the Attack Titan keeps moving forward?
Because you
Or part
are
of
you
it?
ever truly dead if you're a part of it?
That's
you know?
a great question.
If
Aren't you the one who
your
started this
memories
story?
are still a part of it, and your choices are still a part of it, and can further inform people after you, then you are still alive.
Yeah.
People always say that they want to do something to make sure that they're immortalized, basically, in history.
Yeah.
It's a similar idea.
Why do you think Aaron's looking like this?
After he does what he does?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he like it. I don't think he necessarily like would need to love what he's doing to do it. I think he just knows that it needs to happen, or feels that it needs to happen.
And he's actually, unlike Frida, and kind of unlike Frida, but unlike Zeke, he's actually like doing it. Like he's like literally doing it. Like, and oh my god,
I think he feels like. I mean, he's already identified to us that he knows he needs to go through hell to get possibly to freedom. And so that means he has already decided that as a person, he is willing to go through and do and act upon things he deems bad and things he personally deems as horrible, but he needs to do it.
So question.
He needs to keep
At
moving
what
forward.
point does Grisha know that he's being willed and commanded by Eren, or manipulated by Eren? Because you can very easily argue that Grisha should have no idea it's Eren the person influencing those specific memories, unless that there actually is some visceral, like there's some real tangible connection between Eren talking out loud and Grisha in the past being able to hear it or something, which doesn't seem like that is the case, or could happen. I don't know.
Question. Was it ever truly Grisha's intention to give this to Eren? Was he going to try to do it himself? But then Eren Eren basically commanded it to be passed on to him?
Oh, well,
you know?
I almost guarantee that, like, that's my assumption, right? But at what point does Grisha fuck, it's you. You're the fucking person doing this, Eren.
Is it this moment where he collapses on the ground after... This is the moment he does something that he would have never done himself.
But it could have been anyone commanding him to do it. Any person in the future who has the power of the Attack Titan. So it's like, in my mind, it's like one of two things. Either when Eren bent down to talk to Grisha, somehow Grisha could see the future memory of Eren and Zeke standing there and see that it was Eren telling him to do it, or it was here being given the future memories of giving the Titan's power to Eren as a kid, and then Grisha putting two and two together, being like, oh fuck, it was you all along.
Right.
I think both could happen.
This could be the moment that he gets basically told what to do next.
Yeah.
Which is to give it to Eren, or told what should happen next.
Will Eldia really be saved because of all this? The wall being destroyed?
The day it happens. If Carla is safe.
God damn it.
Was this really the only way?
Ugh.
And then he looks up.
You're there, aren't you, Zeke?
I really love that the case with the syringe is open too. Laying there. I know it's like it's just a little tiny thing to notice, but I like that it's open and almost displaying kind of what is about to happen.
It's almost like a video game, and like you check what your objective is, and after you kill this family, the next objective pops up, and it's like, don't forget to grab a syringe on your way out. You're gonna need it later.
Oh, look, and there's like a little,
Yeah. So I redact what I said about the two possible things, and I think that I'm leaning towards one over the other. I think that it was Eren showing Grisha the future of Zeke and Eren standing there through the power of the founding Titan.
Because that's all it needed to be. To get Grisha to realize what he needs to do next, as we've said previously, be very, very purposeful about what you show.
You want
in order to manipulate
them to make their own,
and also feel like maybe it's their own decision.
Yeah.
And to show him an older Zeke next to an older Eren would tell Grisha that they are at some point going to be together, and that they are both going to be at such an influential moment and such a big moment together that Eren needs to, Zeke already has royal blood and was already a candidate, or one that was gonna be a candidate. He was a candidate during the time, but he hadn't gotten the Beast Titan yet. So in Grisha's mind, the only way he can get Eren to be able to stand beside his brother in this way, to be able to be there in these memories, is to give Eren this power.
Yeah, I like, he had to have visually seen it. Like, he saw the future here, because his lines are like, "You're there, aren't you, Zeke?" And then, most importantly, right afterwards, from here on, things won't go your way. Only Eren will get what he wants. Like, he's already seen in the future that, like, this is gonna happen. And
it's so funny that he says this, because what does it do?
I saw Eren's memories of what comes next.
Yeah. And then, like, to tell Zeke this, because you're not telling Zeke necessarily what comes next. You're just telling Zeke, Eren is about to do something that you need to stop. And it's just so...
I don't think that you need to stop. I think that...
Doesn't he say right after this, you need to stop him?
Did he?
I thought so.
Oh, God, if that happens, I'm sorry for missing it. But I love the...
I like never imagined it would be so terrible.
Yeah,
he thinks what Eren's gonna do is horrible. Or the future that Eren wants is horrible.
I saw Eren's memories of what comes next. Oh, it would make sense what you're saying. I never imagined it would be so terrible. Zeke?
It's like he finally sees him in this moment.
Is that you? How you've grown. It's like Eren is showing Grisha the memories of Eren and Zeke being here, so that there's a in real time connection through a fucking ghost.
Yeah, like he can't even actually see that Zeke's there. He only just knows that Zeke is because a memory.
It's like a third eye, right?
Yeah, like a third eye.
Two eyes are seeing what's in front of you, and a third eye in a different part of your brain is able to see what is physically there.
Like, so, that he's not truly there, but he is.
I'm sorry. I was a terrible father. The things I put you through were so cruel. God damn. Zeke, I love you.
I did not expect them to actually physically be able to touch.
I don't know if they actually physically touched, or if it was more of like a visualization. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if they did, interesting. Very interesting. Weird. If only I'd spent more time with you. Damn.
What would that have changed?
So when does he say you have to stop Eren?
Right after this.
Yeah.
And then the camera pans to Eren just kind of standing there. Okay, but I do want to talk about what would have been changed by what Grisha's wishes were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we're watching this play out, so we should probably stay on this.
No, go on.
Oh, I don't know. I wanted to bring that up, that he wishes that he had spent more time with Zeke. Which, in a way, when I heard that, my first thought was, do you wish Eren was never born? That's where, my first thought that popped into my head was, because...
I created a monster.
You literally are saying, because with what you're saying, you're implying that you would have never left Marley, or if you did, it would have been...
a little bit afterwards.
Yeah,
or maybe less time trying to teach him the way of the Restorationists, or going to dance club meetings.
Appreciating his child and being there. And therefore, what would he have done if he truly was there for his child and appreciated him? I think that what made it so Grisha was able to brainwash Zeke was by how little time he spent with Zeke. I think because he kept such a separateness between them, I think if he had spent and lived the same way he did in terms of fathering Eren with Zeke, he would have wanted to protect Zeke. He would have prioritized Zeke surviving and Zeke being happy and keeping the family safe, which is language he uses when he's talking to Frida about that's where his family's home is. That's what he would have prioritized, the self-preservation of the family unit and Zeke's happiness. And if he had spent time with Zeke, he never would have wanted Zeke to take on a power that would kill him in 13 years.
Yeah. You're right. Please stop Eren.
Yeah, please stop Eren.
So I understand where my issue came in. The comma.
Ah.
I thought it was please stop Eren. like showing
commas.
me this. Yes.
Commas.
Like, I thought he was like, I cannot fucking be tortured anymore. Please stop
like
this.
He's telling Aaron to stop showing him things.
Yes,
Stop,
that was my take. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So my bad, but that
he's
is...
giving Zeke a mission here. He's almost picking a favorite kid.
Yes.
With all of the things that he's saying, which is so funny because at the beginning of the episode, Zeke's like, "You were the favorite kid," and now we're like, "No, like." You are the kid that fits more with Grisha's wants and ideals, and
well, it's like Grisha's like, fuck, the world's gonna be fucked. You gotta stop him before this happens. Like, you know,
the brainwashed child I spent no time with is in Grisha's mind maybe the better person than the child he was a great father to.
I don't know about better person, but in the moment
has a better idea of. I mean, better person to Grisha in terms of what future they would want.
Grisha doesn't know Zeke's future, but Grisha sure as hell knows Aaron's, and
that's true.
he doesn't like what he's seeing.
If he knew,
so
that's fair. He doesn't know what Zeke would want to do.
Yeah.
So.
But he's like whatever. I don't care.
He thinks
he's
whatever
like anything else.
Anything else.
Like I don't care what the fucking alternative is. Do anything.
Stop Aaron.
Yes, stop Aaron.
Which can be so loaded in. Stop what he does because it's horrible. Stop him because we love him. And when you love someone, you don't want them to go through with something that's horrible. You want to save them from themselves. So that can go. You can read into that pretty deeply.
Yeah. Okay, so I have two things, like, because we're coming towards the end of the episode. I have 2 points that I want to talk about. One's in reference to Aaron and these abilities.
Okay.
The other's, like, more fun.
Ooh.
Which do you want to do first?
Save the fun for last.
Okay. Why...
This has all been fun, though, so...
Yeah. Why does Aaron get to choose when people see each memory? Is it something that's yet to come? Is it Aaron inevitably somehow getting the Founding Titan, or Zeke allowing him to use it, or why is it because he's the current holder of the Attack Titan and the current holder can choose which memories people like? Why does Aaron get to affect Grisha in the way that he does?
So,
and that which leads me back to one of my theories of did everything happen the moment Aaron and Zeke touched here?
Right.
Like,
Which Zeke was under the impression that when they touched, he would have full control. But I think that, I believed that quite a bit because of the royal blood. But we were also kind of told through Aaron that, it mainly needed to be him touching someone with royal blood that he could give him more powers or have him be able to control the powers more. And... so I think it could be safe to kind of go down that route that it's because Zeke is currently holding Aaron's head that is why Aaron can be able to utilize more powers and unlock them, basically.
So do you think that that's the moment that Aaron put everything into... Because that would be affecting the past then. It's
like he treated this walk through the memories to ensure that this future ends up the way that it did.
You think?
Maybe.
Because it is what played out, right?
I don't truly know anything. I just think a bunch of random things.
Yeah, same. But okay, no. Let's try to understand it, though. So we have Aaron going back and revisiting this stuff. And how the powers have been defined to us. The only thing that Aaron is able to do in regards to memories at the moment, because he doesn't have royal blood, is... get a glimpse into memories of future inheritors, therefore, or in layman's terms, able to know the future.
But that was just the Attack Titan.
That's just the Attack Titan. But there would need to be another, piece to let Aaron influence the past. Mm-hmm. A piece that...
I think is just coming in direct contact with Zeke.
Yeah, so do you think coming in direct contact with Zeke let Aaron influence the past?
Yes.
Do you think that it's like a stackable thing then? Do you think that because I don't think that the Founding Titan can affect people's past. I think the Founding Titan can see people's past, pass down the memories, and then affect people's memories. Aaron has, through Grisha, the ability to affect people's memories because he controls when Grisha sees these certain things in the future.
It's because he has control of the future that, in terms of memories, that is, I think it's almost boosted or powered up. The Attack Titan is powered up here by the Founding Titan and having contact with royal blood.
So, but if that's the case, if that's the case, and he's able to influence the past, then wouldn't the past that we have seen already through seasons 1 to 4 been different? If just now was the time he influenced the past. Everything we saw play out this episode happened in seasons 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it was already influenced.
Mm-hmm.
If it was already influenced, then like how is it like a time loop in that sense, or is it like a setup from the beginning, you know?
A setup from the beginning?
Yeah, like is it like instead of him right when they made contact getting the memories, it's like, is there something that's yet to come that Eren gets even more power, and with that more power he is able to then like create this whole loop?
I don't think so.
No?
But when you get into this whole future affecting past kind of thing, it gets really confusing.
Yes, it does.
In your head. Time traveler stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to
understand. So I'm not
it.
truly understanding what you're asking of me in this moment.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think anybody is. But it's interesting though, because there's something here, I feel like, of like I'm just trying to understand, you know, if I don't know. I'm just trying to think about it. If Zeke and him touching, then what, Eren just got like went to work behind the scenes and just played dead until Zeke woke up, or thought that Eren woke up. Maybe the whole time Eren was asleep, he was actually like orchestrating this because he then had access. I don't know.
I like the idea that he realized he had influence during this journey in this episode.
So,
and by seeing and walking through all of these memories, his feelings of what needed to come to pass were validated and validated to the point that all of his feelings of stepping through the past in these memories came out in him making sure his father did the thing. You're not gonna, especially when he saw that his father wasn't gonna do it, like, that would have completely rewritten what is currently happening outside of the paths.
So this is where my confusion lies. There were two possibilities to me. Eren, what you are saying or suggesting, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, that while he is being taken on this journey with Zeke, in the moment, while being there, he is influencing Grisha's memories to act in a certain way, which would lead to Grisha killing the Rice family and then inevitably passing on the Attack Titan and the Founding Titan to Eren.
It's like by walking through these memories, he's as he's walking through, making sure that each thing happens the way that it had in the show.
So my point of view, like my other idea, was that since the Attack Titan has the ability to see the future, was this Eren not choosing to influence these things now, but knowing already what's to come, because he had lived through this and knows the future, and isn't making any decisions now or influencing things because he's thinking of it right now, but because he's inevitably, or in a roundabout way, already done it, because it's happened in the future, so it's like a recital basically. Mm-hmm. Like
it's just a making sure everything goes the way that it already did, just making sure nothing has changed, that we need Eren in the place that he is for this future.
But that God, I'm so bad with words. I'm so sorry. Because what I'm trying to say is that I don't think if Eren, I think there's a possibility that if Eren and Zeke weren't in that like world right there, potentially Eren could have still influenced Grisha's memories without being in here.
But I don't know if that fits the narrative of other things we've been shown.
I agree with you. I was just trying to. It was just a way of trying to convey a thought or a point that I was having.
Well, I understand it now. Thank you for trying
Yeah.
so hard to elaborate
So
in a
badly.
way that I would understand.
But fun part.
Okay.
Grisha doesn't go to the church. He sees that the Titans are gonna appear and kick through the wall. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna fight." Grisha with the attack Titan versus Reiner, Bert, and Annie. Maybe, depending on age, Levi could have somehow come in time to help. I know he wasn't there, but or like you have some scouts, maybe some MP. I don't know. So like,
Garrison.
Like, how do you think? How much would the events that played out? How much would they have deferred if we had another Titan on our side within the walls?
That's a really great question, because of the fact that these were children and they were already anxious to this meeting, and when they crashed through the walls and did this massive attack, they really had no one fighting against them. So the idea of putting an enemy up against them, they were literally just basically predators with prey.
Yeah.
There wasn't another predator there. There wasn't an enemy to them. They were purely like overpowered against all of these people running around in this city.
Yeah.
And it's a really great question of none of the ones that were there, colossal, armored, no one there could control pure Titans. So it's not like they could tell the pure Titans like, hey, go eat that guy or make sure he doesn't like interfere with us.
Annie's probably the one who called them there, right? That's her ability.
Right. Because she wasn't actually, we didn't like see her, but you're right that she might have made sure that a bunch of them fled into the city. Flooded into the city is what I meant, sorry. But I think that's an interesting idea to bring up of how that could have possibly changed things. I think it would have been a complete shock. You know, they were children. They went into this with the whatever information Marley had given them, which from what we got from the past when they're all around the campfire, they're discussing how it seemed like Marley's information that was told to them was not 100% accurate and amazing in terms of like how many pure Titans were going to be around and things of that nature. And so I think that they would have been utterly and completely shocked by seeing a Titan standing in front of them. Yeah. Because they were told the king isn't going to act. They were told that there was going to basically be nothing standing against them. They were going to do this attack and then they were going to infiltrate.
Yeah.
They were not told that they're to expect any person coming up against them.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe even that shock would have possibly collapsed the plan.
I don't see Grisha winning, but yeah. I see it being an interesting like what if.
Yeah.
You know?
We need some Attack on Titan what if episodes.
Because at the end of the day, Reiner, Bert, and Annie at that point were just kids. They didn't have a whole lot of time wielding it. Not that Grisha necessarily had a lot of practice, but... And
Zeke was the war chief commander person that came up with the strategies and told them what to do. They were acting on one plan that they were already told to do. That doesn't mean they had the skills yet to come up with like a plan B or take new information that was being shown to them and come up with a new plan. Peak wasn't there.
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe Annie could have thought about something.
Another idea, what if instead of 3 of them, Bert, Reiner, and Annie, it was Bert, Reiner, Annie, and Zeke? What if Zeke was there when they first attacked? What if Grisha could see into the future and see that his own son was going to attack then? If Grisha tried to talk Zeke out of it then, would that whole father-son conversation and hug and crying have happened before? I don't know. There's a lot of like interesting, like everything's so close but so far away.
And it all had to happen the way that it
did. Exactly. So interesting. So would you say that you agree Grisha would probably fall short to Reiner, Bert, and Annie?
I think so.
Sad.
Also because of the fact that Grisha didn't necessarily want to be fighting.
Yeah.
Physically fighting. Yeah.
I feel like I just want to like cry, sleep, and rewatch Attack on Titan.
That sounds like a great day.
Yeah. Such a good
Just the
episode.
3 things that I need in life.
I feel like the quicker I end this video, the quicker I lose out at just like seeing a picture of Aaron in front of me and getting out of this like zone of like, you know, appreciating Aaron as a character, as a well-written character.
I cannot.
I'm scared of him.
I'm scared of him. I'm intimidated. I don't know what he's thinking in this moment. I don't know what future he has seen that he knows or believes in his mind that everything that has happened to this moment needed to continue to happen, and that this is the best path.
Why would Aaron still do the rumbling? To knock out, to go along with what we heard earlier and make sure that there's no chance anybody could ever affect his freedom or have the chance to...
He wants to steal other people's freedoms before they steal his.
Yeah.
So would Aaron, in fact, be someone that wanted to be like a powerful military that intimidated the rest of the world? Is that something that he would want? Maybe.
Or like, hey, I can do this, so like don't even try to step to it, you know?
Maybe tyrannical almost as a leader.
Maybe. I don't know.
But we don't know, because we don't know what he's thinking. We don't know what he's seen.
He never wanted the crown.
I said that's the lyric.
Yeah. All right, that's all I have. You? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.